Hello and welcome to Telefonica's stand at Mobile World Congress in Barcelona. I'm pleased to say that I'm joined by Dan Rosen from Telefonica. Thank you very much for joining.
Not at all. Glad to be here. Thanks for coming to visit us.
No, thank you. How are you finding the event so far?
You know what? I love it at Mobile World Congress. I've been coming here for about 15 years. I think the advertising industry as part of mobile, when I first started coming here, didn't even have a section and was maybe a few people who were gathered around talking to each other about the possibility of advertising and marketing on mobile. And then I come here this year and there are delegations from all the main agency groups. There are large swathes of stands and conferences and space going on here, and I heard before, I don't know if you've heard or if you spoke to WPP yet, but I've heard that Sir Martin Sorrell himself is even giving a guided tour to their top clients at Mobile World Congress.
Well, I hadn't heard that. Wow.
I think if there is anything that can act as a barometer about how much advertising has landed in the land of mobile, that's probably the personification of it, with someone like that taking such a personal view of this summit. So it's incredibly exciting to be here and great to be a part of this. I mean, I don't know how many people, you probably know better than I think it's up to 90,000 people or something this year.
Well, we're hearing about 100,000. So
100,000.
And you do feel it when you're trying to get around the venue. So
you do feel it amongst the smombies, as they call it. Did you hear this smombie term that they had in the the Sunday Times this weekend? These are, I think it's basically mobile zombies, people who walk and are so obsessed by their mobile phones, completely oblivious to everything going on around them, that they're kind of a danger to themselves and also people around them because they injure themselves. And the rise in smombie related injuries is on the increase, to the point where medical organizations are actually warning people, because joking aside, people walk onto roads and get hit by cars. It's not a laughing matter.
No.
The flip side of that, from me as an advertising guy who works in mobile, I think if there is any sign as to the engagement and obsession that consumers now have with their mobile, it's maybe the smombie is a great example of that. But here we are, and advertisers are definitely spending more on mobile than they ever have, but they're still actually not spending enough compared to where they should be, compared to how much time consumers are spending on their mobile, and also how utterly engaged they are in those mobiles, maybe personified by the smombie.
Well, exactly. I mean, we've got so many people here, and you only have to walk around to feel the buzz that, the industry is growing rapidly, and consumers are leading that drive with their own behaviour. Advertisers still catching up, really. I mean, if we're going to be honest. And how do you feel like over the past 12 months the industry has progressed in its use of mobile for advertising?
I think it's a great question. I think that you're absolutely right. The consumers have been really laying down the gauntlet to brands for the last 5 years. Really, they've been they've been making their opinions. They've been displaying it with their feet, with their numbers, who are flocking to mobile. And I think the way that the industry has moved on in the last 12 months, I think the amount of downright innovation has probably curtailed a bit, which is actually for me a good thing, because it's a sign of a mature market. We're seeing the emergence of Facebook as the dominant player in mobile advertising, and a lot of people have hold that success down to the amount of high volume and high reach first-party authenticated data that they first-party data that they have, which is why for us as a carrier we're actually really excited by this, because if you look at the players globally who are set up to be able to provide audiences at scale like that, and also to be able to provide not just first-party data but authenticated first-party data, then we're more excited than ever, because we think we're quite uniquely positioned to be able to help brands on that journey to connect with their consumers. Obviously, making sure that our data is everything to us. It's our customers, and we're very much a customer-centric organisation. So as long as that data is provided and made available in a highly robust, privacy and anonymized way, then for us, we're adding value with our insights to the market. So we're more excited than ever before. And the culmination of 12 months effort for us at Telefonica is the first launch that we just made on Monday this week was from Ronan Dunn in O2 UK, who made a fantastic presentation on Monday morning to announce the launch of the link between Weave and Axonics. So O2, bless you. Sorry. Between Weave and Axonics UK, and we're really excited about that announcement. And so far, the reception from the brands, from the advertisers, from the agencies has been really positive. You know, I think that obviously Facebook's success and the success that Facebook is providing brands with is great for advertisers and agencies, but when we speak to them, they're very happy that another player who's got such scale and such first-party data is now available in the market to be able to augment and power their advertising campaigns.
Yeah. Sorry, apologies for the coughing fit there, by the way.
Not at all.
You know, as you say, maybe the innovation is starting to slow down a little bit. There's an element of maturity coming into the industry.
And by the way, I should qualify that. I don't think innovation is slowing down. I think the amount of sort of tectonic, game-changing, massive jump innovation is slowing down. There's still loads of innovation going on in the market. It's just, you know, compared to 10 years ago when the iPhone was launched, or when each new release of an iOS would give people massive jumps in the level of innovation that we've reached. It's just not the level anymore, but I don't want to suggest for a second that there's not a whole heap of innovation going on about here.
Assuming that perhaps over the next 12 months, advertisers really start to get to grips with mobile, advance their methods of using it, and we're back here in 12 months. How do you hope that the debate will have moved on, the ways that advertising on mobile may have evolved?
I hope that advertisers will be talking about mobile in a way that shows that they're adopting more mobile-first thinking, because they're realizing that, firstly, mobile is not a channel. Mobile connects lots of other channels, as well as being a channel in its own right. It connects lots of other channels, and having a pure campaign thinking about mobile, you're just really missing the opportunity. Mobile is involved in almost every facet of advertising and marketing, from campaigns to customer service, through to experiential events, to connecting the online and offline worlds. You know, I could go on with where it's involved. And what I would like to think is happening in 12 months' time is that the enormous creative talents amongst the agency groups that exist, that the talents that are mobile first are allowed to express themselves in a way that is really going to light up the channel, and that proper storytelling over mobile phones that is omni-channel and not sort of linear thinking, not thinking about just advertising on a screen, would be good. I think that there is a great quote that, again, Ronan Dunn, our UK CEO, came up with on Monday morning, and he quoted a guy from the BBC, and the guy from the BBC said that the first 10 years of TV was effectively radio on television. We are now a few years into mobile advertising, and I think we are starting to see some interesting campaigns come to light from a creative standpoint, but actually we're only starting to scratch the surface of what's possible. Real mobile storytelling is what we need, that is where the thinking starts from mobile and understands how it can play a part in people's life. You know, you have this device is so permeating everything we do now. I don't want to give you cliches about looking at the screen 150 times a day, always with you. But the reality is that when you've got a device like this with you all the time, there are so many opportunities for marketers. Once these huge creative talents and agencies are able to express themselves and come up with really interesting campaigns, like one in Guatemala that we really like in Latin America, where as you know, Telefonica are so active and are starting to launch more interesting campaigns in Latin America. In Guatemala, called called Meat Pack, the campaign, which was for a sports store, a trainer store in a shopping mall in.
Yes, I think I remember the Festival of Media
LATAM. I did share
yeah.
at the Festival of Media LATAM. It's still such a great campaign where you can incentivize and engage with consumers in a way that's going to drive them into your store in a meaningful and entertaining way. That's a great example of contextual advertising at its best. And what I'd really hope over the next 12 months is that the creative industries really grab the mobile opportunity to elevate it. Pressing a tick box in Facebook or Google isn't necessarily the answer. We'd like, good creative thinking, not just across Facebook and Google, but across all of the different mobile channels that come to bear in the market. So for me, that would be an ideal outcome.
Be interesting to see what happens and if that creativity can come. Thank you very much for your time today. Really appreciate it, and hope you enjoy the rest of the show.
Great. Thanks very much for visiting us, and have a great show.
Thank you.
Cheers. Thank you.